When we are writing, we make assumptions, then state those assumptions as assertions throughout our essay. Unfortunately, our readers often don't hold on to those same assumptions, or they need evidence to believe those assumptions are true. When I'm responding to essays, I'll often ask questions like, who says, how do you know, and how so can you explain? What I'm trying to get you to do is provide the critical thinking and the evidence that your readers need to see your assumptions and assertions as valid and credible. I teach my students to do that by using what I call the see process. In other words, I want you to see what I'm saying. And you can do this by simply stating what you want your readers to believe, explaining to them in a different way what you mean, and then providing examples of what you mean. The first part of the process is to simply state what you want readers to believe. The second part is to explain it in other words. And you may feel like you're repeating yourself here, but keep in mind that the ability to paraphrase and summarize is an important critical thinking skill. Also, it often takes readers hearing things a different way before they really understand what you're talking about. And finally, you need to exemplify. Provide those specific, concrete examples that help your readers understand the point you are making. When you put these three things together in that order, you set up a way that your readers get an insight and have a clear vision of the point you're trying to make. The step one in doing this is that I recommend is simply filling in that template. What I want to say is that parakeets are a low maintenance pet. In other words, they don't need much work. For example, their seed cup needs to be emptied and refilled daily, which doesn't take long. The next step is to revise in your own voice, dropping those rigid transitions of the template and getting things that more fit with what you want to say and sounding more like you. Parakeets are a low maintenance pet. In practical terms, they don't require a big time commitment. For instance, it takes less than 5 minutes each day to empty their seed cup and replenish their food supply. Keep in mind that you can take outside source material and plug it into any part of the see process. It can be that statement that you start with, that explanation that you use, or it can provide that perfect example.